Hello, it's Big Soprano, and today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Xanax and Benzoids as a bonus. So, it all starts in 2022, where I stopped being friends with this autistic guy. And we were good friends since like grade 7 or so. And uh, we were like kind of best friends in 2021. Like, we hung out like almost every day and all that, and it was pretty cool. He wasn't a good friend by any means, but we had a lot in common, and we shared some good times together. As of right now, he's dead. Sadly, he passed away, but it's nice to remember him. So I stopped being friends with him in 2022, but I go to prom, which he was also attending. And as horrible as prom went, at least one thing went well. And what went well was I talk it out with this friend and we become friends again. And that was actually a pretty good thing to come out of that fucking stupid ass prom I went to. It was so pointless. I just left because the girl wouldn't even regroup with me. So I felt like she didn't like me. So that's why I left. Because we split up. Yeah, she didn't seem to give a fuck. So I just left. But yeah, in July of that year, I quit my job and I start smoking weed full time. So like I'm cool to talk with about like drugs and all that because I was smoking weed and all that. So weed wasn't like something you should no. So like some friends you can't talk about drugs around because they're just so sensitive. Not sensitive from like trauma, but they're just little bitches. They're goody two shoes. I half my friends are like that and it fucking sucks. So yeah, they kind of degraded as humans and the past like while, honestly. So I smoked weed every day and I was obsessed with weed. So like I smoked weed all the time. I was always hotboxing my car. I was always smoking weed with my brother. And it was my brother who got me into weed after he's been smoking it since like 2017 and I started in I actually first got high in 2020, but I first started smoking weed straight from the plant in 2022. So that's when I really got into weed because that was just a one-time thing in 2020. So 2 months before 2023 or something, I meet up with my friend I cut off, and he's doing pretty well. He got a car, and we chat and shit. He told me you lost a real one. Uh, earlier this year, and he was like guilt tripping me and all that, and I just tried sucking up to him in a way that seemed natural. And he tells me the news that he became a drug dealer and his business seems to actually be going pretty well. And before he draws me back Xanax pill, and now that we're home, before I got out of the car and entered my home, I take the pill, and my friend's just like, "Holy shit, that was a horse pill," because it was a fully sized pill. And I exited the car and entered my house feeling normal. 10 minutes later, I'm in my room and I felt like I was floating mentally. Like it felt like what heaven feels like. You just don't give a fuck about what happened in your life, like you're above it. You feel mentally content with life. And the emotion you feel is euphoric on paper, but you don't act. So, yeah, it's a very strong at peace with yourself. You feel very relaxed, like you feel genuinely relaxed, like you're on like a nice beach, it's like in your relaxed, like if Super Mario Sunshine was real, like Rico Harbor or something, or like a Gelato Beach. If that was real, that's what it feels like for all those marks. It's like how if you were in a video game it'd be like off-putting. That's how it feels like, basically. It's like you feel completely at peace. So like you feel so at peace as kind of off-putting, but you don't actually feel any negative emotions. So I kind of lied about it being off-putting. But you know how it's just different. If you lived in a video game world, it would just be different. It would be trippy. So yeah, after I took Xanax, maybe like I don't know if it was like a month later or a week later, I don't remember. But I get kicked out of the house, and I think the Xanax taken not too long before. However, it fucked up my brain. I don't know. I've thought about putting the blame on the Xanax, but I'm not sure, and I won't get into it. So I'm moving to my dad. which is pretty good because after what just happened to me, it was pretty hard to get back into the social world. Like a terrible thing happened. It felt kind of weird hanging out with them again, but it was interesting. Like I just felt deep sadness every time I was hanging out with my friends because we're hanging out and having fun, but I don't live at my home anymore, and everything just fucking sucks. And eventually, I fill my friend in on what happened, and he takes me for a drive to talk about it. Actually, we set up a drug deal. So he drives me to a random parking lot near the mall and offers me drugs. I'd pay $60 for a couple pills, probably like 5 or 6, and these pills were benzoids. We called the orange benzoid the annoying orange, and boy did the annoying orange hit. I think I took half of those pills that night because my life was really shit. Of course I resorted to drugs. Like that's why my life was fucking shit. My life just fell apart in 2023. So don't blame me for doing drugs. My life was fucking horrible back then. I couldn't bear it sober. So please understand. It really But before I did that, I lost the pill bottle, and I called my dad asking where it is. And that completely blew my cover. That completely fucked me over. Because next thing you know, the next day, he gets mad at me because he knew I was taking drugs. So I basically gave myself away. And he points out that the benzoids froze half my face. Like, holy fuck, I never had a drug fuck me up that badly physically so far. I would like to mention that since my father found out, he canceled my driving test, which is actually the day after I took all those drugs. So yeah, thanks to that, I don't have a car, thanks to my stupid actions. And I haven't had a driving test ever since. So yeah, that fucking sucks.